that. So everything we're discussing, what is the landscape looking like in Nigeria? This was the fintech landscape in, let me put this thing down, in 2016. So 2016, we had people doing about, let's look at something else very ridiculous, savings. We only had, so we had Osusu, I think he's dead now. I don't know these guys, I can't look at I can't see the logo very well, but the only surviving from the 2016 set is Piggy Bank NG. For insurance, only Cassava. For Bitcoin, just 2. I think one of them is dead. But of course, payment remittances had a couple of people, and some of these companies have been acquired, or they are dead, or they've grown so much. Like, I'm not sure this guy is still here. And even TZ Mobile, I think TZ Mobile sold their license to somebody, but this is how the landscape was, right? Then here, if you're working in fintech, they'll be asking you what you are doing. For a while, my parents thought I was doing Yahoo. It's just that the shark had confidence that they tried to train me well, but I'm not just so sure about what I was doing in my life. And then in 3 years, this is how the industry, had now become. So let's look at that savings that had just piggy bank. You can now see the new players in that sector. By this time, Amplified had not been acquired yet by Carbon. And you can see lending that had nobody before. Let's see, there was nobody in, okay, lending had people though, but these are like mainly a lot of microfinance banks type kind of people. But lending now had much more people. And they now had a lot of new sectors, financial inclusion, digital banking, and all that. This is 2021. And you just think that there's no space anywhere. Still more categories, wealth and credit, tech, that thing that had only Piggyvest and 2 other people, see them now, right? Trying to choke Piggyvest, you'll be looking for, let's say that we can only see Piggyvest. Can't see them here. I can't see them. Are they somewhere else? Can't see them. But there's the new entrance of venture capital. And I think at this point, only a few companies were African based. A lot of the companies were not based in Africa. Africa was really just looking at everybody bringing in money into here, saying it's like, you don't know that these young people you're investing in, you don't have home training. They will soon eat your money, until we had the Paystack, acquisition, and more people came in, and our very big uncles, they were saying, perhaps we need to put money inside this place. These people are not as unserious as we thought. So this is what it is for 2022 January, because a lot has changed, right? In the months, a lot has changed. But we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different categories and more, and they are growing. See what crypto is from the 2 we saw, and it's even much more. I can't see people like Bitmama here and LaserPay. A couple of them, they're not here. Yeah, but this is what the industry is. So the ecosystem is growing. More new entrants are coming. People are getting investment. Investment has sort of slowed down during this half of the quarter, because a lot of investors were actually banking on their investments in crypto, to pull that out and invest in other safer, less riskier, more manageable things. But everybody knows what has happened to crypto. So the discussion, is that it would affect investments, but interestingly, I've not seen it, that much. 1 or 2 people are still raising money, not so much money, like the $1.5, $2 million type kind of money. But the industry, again, is still growing. I don't have access to the latest new report. I've not actively looked for it, but I just had the figures over the news, and there was something like 100 and something % growth quarter on quarter for mobile payments, from the NIBS. And I don't know if NIBS was just reporting their own figure or they were reporting the figure, on behalf of everybody in Nigeria, because numbers are sent to CBN, and then they have access to those numbers. So I was not sure what they were reporting, but for the mobile channel, I was hearing percentage growth, like that. And if you remember that we looked at Mfina results we looked at a report Mfina did for 2022, so it's still very recent. Maybe they concluded that report either early January or late December, and it's still showing that there's room for growth. So with everybody we are seeing here, the truth is that before the end of the year or in 2023, some of the icons you see here will not exist anymore, and other people will come in, and it will become larger than this. So the ecosystem is growing. I just take a stop to say, if you're trying to build a career in here, it's going to be, or you're trying to build a business, it's sustainable, to the extent that you can focus on it and make it work. It's sustainable to grow a career or grow a business in this space. I just wanted to ask a question to everybody, and I'd like maybe 1 or 2 answers. So for fintech, with all the investments that are happening here and all the ideas people are